So I'm in Queens doing this Indian show, and we're doing it at Queens College. And they've got some cameras setting up, and we're doing it at like 10 o'clock, like 8 o'clock in the morning. We had to load in at midnight to do the show at 8 o'clock in the morning because it's live. It's a live broadcast that they say they're doing live back to India. And okay, whatever you want to do. And I'm the audio mixer for it. I'm mixing the sound for the show. And as we do with every show, we at a theater, you provide a feed for the backstage feed, so people backstage can hear what's going on. Right, so I got a backstage feed coming out of my mixing console. They got a bunch of cameras in there, and no one's asking me any questions. I'm not asking them any questions. It's a perfect relationship of mutual ignorance, right, of what's happening here. But they didn't ask for anything audio needs as far as broadcast goes, so and then you got your backstage feed, and that's it. Well, the show's going on, and it's loud. I mean, it's just there's one guitar player on stage who thinks he's Eddie Van Halen, and, you know, for the screwing in the light bulb and petting the dog dancers are out there. This guitar was so loud, completely unnecessary. It completely not going on with the theme of what everyone else was doing. And the guy just was completely stood out 100%. And the producer of the show comes up to me, he goes, "You got to do something about this. You got to turn it down." I said, "Man, it's turned down anymore." And then he goes, "No, and then I turned off the entire sound system. Right, I turned off the entire sound system. I said, "Listen, look, the sound system is 100% off, and you can still hear that fucking guitar louder than any goddamn thing in the whole room. You know, you got to get down there to get them to turn it back down." So I turned the sound system back up, you know, or else you're not going to have any vocals and, you know, the rest of everything else, all the drums and shit and their wacky instruments. So somebody comes running up to me. They're all freaked out because we're off the air. We're off the air. What do you mean we're off the air? He goes, "We're off the air. Like when I turn the mixing console down, we're off the air." So they lost the backstage feed for a minute. You know, like what's the big deal there? And he says to me, "No, that's the broadcast feed. That's the broadcast feed." So how many people are watching this show? He goes, "Oh, I don't know, 200 million, 200 million people." Watching this crappy show. I mean, couldn't wrap my brain around it too well, but it's all right. Okay, all right. Different cultures, different things. I'm hip, I'm new, I'm whatever. Right? So I said, "You got to get down there, and you got to get that guy to turn that guitar down." So they get down there, and he won't turn it down. He won't turn it down. He won't turn it down. And they shoes him off. He just refuses to turn down. I said, "Okay, that's it." And I walked down the aisle, and I mean, I didn't like take a jog. I mean, I walked down the center aisle of this theater while this show's going on. There's 50 plus people on stage, doing their thing. And that's when I said I had enough, man. And I walked on stage, and I walked right by the guy, walked right up to him, went up to the amp, took the knob right off the amplifier, and I threw it into the darkness. Could have hit somebody for all I knew. I was just so irritated by the whole thing. The guy was completely shocked. And I went back and mixed the show, and that was it. And if you ever think that the sound guy's not going to walk up and take the knob off your amplifier and literally throw it in the garbage, you're wrong.